the turbulent skies of World War II, one aircraft stood out as a symbol of Italian ingenuity and daring: the Savoia-Marchetti SM-79 Sparviero. Known to its crews as the Gobbo Maledetto, or damned hunchback, due to its distinctive dorsal hump, this three-engine bomber was a force to be reckoned with, particularly in the Mediterranean theater. Its sleek design and remarkable speed made it a record-breaker in the 1930s, and its adaptability transformed it from a civilian transport into one of the most effective torpedo bombers of its time. Despite its ungainly appearance, the Sparviero proved that looks can be deceiving, soaring past competitors and striking fear into Allied navies. To understand how this iconic aircraft came to be, we must travel back to the early 1930s, when Italian aviation was poised to make its mark on the world stage. The story begins in 1934 at the workshops of Savoia-Marchetti in Sesto Calende, Lombardy. Alessandro Marchetti, the company's chief designer, was a visionary who saw aviation as a means to elevate Italy's technological prestige. Fresh off the success of the S-73 airliner and the S-81 bomber, Marchetti set his sights on creating a fast, reliable transport aircraft capable of carrying 8 passengers at unprecedented speeds. The goal was ambitious: to compete in the Mac Robertson London to Melbourne Air Race, a high-profile event that promised global recognition. Marchetti's design, initially designated the S-79P for passeggeri or passenger, was a low-wing monoplane with a 3-engine configuration, chosen for safety over long distances. The prototype, registered as Imago, was a blend of innovation and practicality, constructed with a mix of steel tubes, light alloy, wood, and fabric, a testament to Italy's industrial capabilities at the time. Building an aircraft for a race against the world's best was no small feat, and Marchetti faced his share of challenges. The original plan called for powerful Isotta Frassicini Assonomanuri engines, each delivering 801 horsepower, but supply issues forced a switch to the less potent Piaggio Stella P.9 RC-40 engines, producing 610 horsepower each. It was a compromise that could have grounded lesser ambitions, but Marchetti pressed on, proving that even a hunchback could fly fast. On September 28, 1934, test pilot Adriano Bacula took the prototype aloft from Novara Air Base in Piedmont, marking the SM-79's first flight. Though it missed the London-Melbourne race deadline, the aircraft's performance was nothing short of spectacular. In a test flight from Milan to Rome, it covered the distance in just 1 hour and 10 minutes, averaging 410 kilometers per hour, a speed that turned heads in the aviation world. The SM-79's early flights caught the attention of the Italian military, which saw its potential as more than just a transport. By 1935, the prototype was re-engined with Alfa Romeo 125 RC-35 engines, boosting its performance. A year later, it received Alfa Romeo 126 RC-34 engines, further enhancing its capabilities. On August 2, 1935, the aircraft set a speed record, flying from Rome to Massawa in Italian Eritrea in 12 hours, with a single refueling stop in Cairo. This feat, among others, showcased its potential as a military asset. The Italian government, eager to capitalize on its speed, commissioned a second prototype tailored for bomber duties, equipped with defensive machine guns and bomb racks. By October 1936, production of the SM-79Y began, marking its transition from a civilian dream to a military workhorse. The fascist regime saw the SM-79 as a propaganda tool, a symbol of Italy's technological prowess. Between 1937 and 1939, the aircraft set 26 world records, including a speed of 423.618 kilometers per hour, over 1,000 kilometers, with a 2,000-kilogram payload. These achievements were not just technical triumphs, but also a source of national pride, splashed across newspapers and celebrated in air shows. The SM-79's success led to its production at multiple facilities, including Aeronautica Umbra in Foligno, to meet growing demand. By 1940, approximately 1,300 units had been built, making it the backbone of the Regia Aeronautica's bomber fleet. Export variants also emerged, reflecting the aircraft's international appeal. The SM-79B, a twin-engine version with a redesigned nose, was developed for countries like Romania, which ordered 24 in 1937 and later produced 72 under license as the JRS-79B, powered by Junkers Jumo. 211DA engines. Yugoslavia ordered 45 SM-79K models, while Brazil and Iraq also acquired small numbers. These exports underscored the aircraft's versatility, though the twin-engine variant sacrificed some of the speed that made the original so formidable. As Italy prepared for war, the SM-79 was poised to prove itself on the battlefield, its development a testament to Marchetti's vision and the relentless pursuit of excellence. The SM-79 Sparviero was a marvel of engineering, blending traditional craftsmanship with cutting-edge design. Its fuselage stretched 16.2 meters, with a wingspan of 20.2 meters and a height of 4.1 meters. The wing area, 61.7 square meters, provided ample lift for its 10,050 kilogram gross weight, with an empty weight of 7,700 kilograms. Power came from 3 Alfa Romeo 128 RC18 9-cylinder radial engines, each delivering 642 kilowatts or 861 horsepower. These engines drove 3-bladed variable pitch propellers, propelling the aircraft to a maximum speed of 460 kilometers per hour at 3,790 meters. Its cruising speed was around 350 kilometers per hour, with a range of 2,600 kilometers and a service ceiling of 7,500 meters. The aircraft's construction was a patchwork of materials, reflecting Italy's industrial landscape. The fuselage featured a steel tube framework, clad in duralumin forward and fabric aft, while the wings were wooden with plywood covering. This mixed construction kept the aircraft light, but made it more susceptible to damage than all-metal designs. The dorsal hump, housing the gunner's position, was its most iconic feature, earning it the nickname Gobbo Maledetto. This hump wasn't just for show. It gave the gunner a commanding view, perfect for fending off enemy fighters, though it did make the aircraft stand out like a sore thumb in a lineup. The crew of 6 included a pilot, co-pilot, flight engineer who doubled as a gunner, radio operator, bombardier, and rear gunner. The cockpit, positioned in the nose, offered good visibility, though the lack of an intercom system meant crew members often resorted to shouting or hand signals, hardly ideal when dodging enemy fire. Defensively, the SM-79 carried one 12.7mm Breda Safat machine gun forward, operated by the co-pilot, and 2 more in dorsal and ventral positions. Optional 7.7mm machine guns could be mounted in lateral waist ports, adding flexibility but extra weight. Offensively, the aircraft was versatile. It could carry 1,200 kilograms of bombs internally, or, in its torpedo bomber role, 2 450mm torpedoes under the wings. The bomb bay, centrally located, was designed for efficiency, though loading torpedoes required careful balancing to maintain stability. The SM-79's speed and range made it a standout compared to contemporaries like the German Heinkel He-111, which was slower at 400 kilometers per hour, or the British Vickers Wellington, which matched its range but lacked the same agility. However, the Sparviero's wooden components could be a liability, catching fire more easily than metal counterparts. The 3-engine configuration was a masterstroke, providing redundancy that proved invaluable over the Mediterranean's vast waters. If one engine failed, the aircraft could still limp home, a feature that saved many crews. Yet, the design wasn't flawless. The absence of an intercom system was a constant headache, forcing crews to communicate in a cacophony of engine noise and wind. Still, pilots praised its handling, describing it as responsive and reliable, a testament to Marchetti's design philosophy. The SM-79's combat career began in the Spanish Civil War, where it served with the Aviazione Legionaria, supporting nationalist forces. From 1936 to 1939, it conducted bombing missions against Republican targets, its speed allowing it to outrun many opposing fighters, such as the Soviet Polikarpov 116. These early successes in Spain validated the aircraft's design and provided critical combat experience for Italian aircrews, setting the stage for its role in World War II. When Italy entered the war in June 1940, the Regia Aeronautica had nearly 600 SM-79s in service, forming the core of its bomber force. The aircraft saw action across multiple theaters, from North Africa to the Balkans, but it was in the Mediterranean that it truly shone. As a torpedo bomber, the Sparviero was unmatched, its low-level attacks wreaking havoc on Allied shipping. One of its most famous operations was the attack on the Operation Pedestal convoy in August 1942, a desperate Allied effort to resupply Malta. Flying from bases in Sicily and Sardinia, SM-79s of the 132nd Gruppo and other units launched daring torpedo runs, sinking the destroyer HMS Foresight and the merchant ship MV Deucalion. Despite heavy anti-aircraft fire and fighter opposition, the Sparvieros pressed their attacks, though 2 were lost on August 12th. A particularly innovative if ill-fated mission during Operation Pedestal involved a radio-controlled SM-79 flying bomb, guided by a Cant Z.1007 Bisis and escorted by 5 Fiat G-50 fighters. The experiment aimed to strike Allied ships with precision, but a radio malfunction sent the aircraft crashing into Mount Kenchala, a reminder that cutting-edge technology doesn't always guarantee success. Such bold attempts underscored the Italian Air Force's willingness to push boundaries, even if the results were mixed. Captain Carlo Fagioni emerged as one of the Sparviero's most celebrated pilots. Leading the 279th Squadriglia, he sank the merchant ship Thermopylae in early 1942, a feat that highlighted the aircraft's anti-shipping prowess. Fagioni's skill was evident in his low-altitude torpedo runs, skimming the waves to evade detection, a maneuver that required nerves of steel and a steady hand. In 1943, after the Italian armistice, he founded the Gruppo Aerosiluranti Buscaglia Fagioni under the Aeronautica Nazionale Repubblicana, named in honor of another ace, Carlo Emanuele Buscaglia, believed dead but later found to be a prisoner. Fagioni led attacks against the Anzio landings in 1944. But on April 6, his SM-79 was shot down by American P-47 Thunderbolts, ending his illustrious career. Buscaglia, another legendary figure, commanded the 281st Squadriglia at Gadura Airfield in Rhodes. In 1941, he damaged 2 British battleships off Alexandria and sank an auxiliary cruiser near Cyprus. His exploits made Gadura a hub for torpedo bomber operations, though crews lived in tents, enduring harsh conditions. Buscaglia's survival as a prisoner and later service with the Allied-aligned Aeronautica Co-Belligerante added a complex layer to his legacy, reflecting the divided loyalties of post-armistice Italy. The SM-79 also served in North Africa, bombing British positions, and in the Balkans, supporting operations against Yugoslavia and Greece. Romania's Air Force, equipped with the twin-engine JRS-79B, used it effectively on the Eastern Front. However, as the war progressed, the Sparviero faced increasing challenges. Modern Allied fighters like the Supermarine Spitfire and North American P-51 Mustang outclassed it, exploiting its vulnerabilities. The lack of an intercom system often left crews struggling to coordinate, especially during intense combat. Yet, the aircraft's reliability kept it in service, with pilots adapting to its quirks through sheer skill. By 1943, newer bombers like the SM-84 began to replace the Sparviero, but it never fully retired during the war. Its versatility saw it used for reconnaissance, close support, and transport missions, carrying supplies and troops across the Mediterranean. The aircraft's ability to operate from rudimentary airfields, like Gadura's makeshift runway, was a boon in austere environments, though rough seas and enemy fire took their toll. The SM-79 Sparviero's legacy is one of innovation and resilience. It served Italy until 1952, transitioning to transport and training roles post-war. The Lebanese Air Force operated a few until 1959, extending its service life. Today, a surviving example at the Museo dell'Aeronautica Gianni Caproni in Trento, Italy, draws visitors eager to see the Gobbo Maledetto up close. Another relic, a wreckage off the coast of Turkey, discovered by divers like Tassin Ceylan, serves as a haunting reminder of the aircraft's wartime sacrifices. Its broken propellers and shattered fuselage, resting at depths of 58 to 73 meters. In popular culture, the SM-79 lives on through documentaries, books like those by historian Marco Mattioli, and detailed scale models. Its story is one of triumph and tragedy, a testament to the ingenuity of its designers and the courage of its crews. For those who wish to connect with this piece of history, a visit to the Caproni Museum offers a glimpse of the Sparviero's enduring spirit. Just don't expect it to take you on a joyride across the Mediterranean.